Hello world, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Mass Effect Blind. My name is Kelthos, and in the last episode we had wiped out the last of those AI core or VI cores to destroy that VI, and in doing so we unlocked a new class called Shock Trooper. Well, we could have been a Shock Trooper or a Commando, and we decided to be Shock Trooper, and it replaced our Soldier class. And it's basically the same stuff, but I think this is new. That's immunity specialization. But yeah, and we did that, and then we ran out of side quests to do, so we went to and decided to go to this Navira planet first to see why the Geth is interested in it. And in doing so, we came down here to disembark, and I found some of my teammates here and decided to talk to them. And we got to talk to Rex a little bit over there, and we accidentally pissed him off with our ignorance about how their race is basically infertile and can't produce because of a virus that was created by the Solarians, and we said some stuff that kind of pissed him off, but he's okay now. But yeah, in this episode we're going to continue talking to these people and then go to Naviria and see what's going on there. So here we go. Hi,
Commander,
Ashley.
You have a minute to talk?
Of course.
I keep an open door policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on me.
Of course.
All right. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander.
Vicarian? Who's
Should they
Vicarian?
have full access to the ship?
Because they're not Alliance? What do you mean? Because they're aliens? Yeah, because they're not Alliance.
They may not serve the Alliance, Chief, but they're allies. At least as far as Saren goes.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
You're out of line. You don't trust aliens, or I can't confine them. My hands are tied. You don't trust
You
aliens?
don't trust the Alliance's allies?
I'm not sure I'd call the Council races allies.
Why not?
We, humanity, have to learn to rely on ourselves.
We need allies. Yeah, we do need
Standing
allies.
up for ourselves doesn't mean standing alone.
I don't think we should turn down allies. I just think we shouldn't bet everything on them staying allies. As
well,
noble
that's
as the
true,
council
but that
members
doesn't
seem
mean
now,
you should
if their
restrict
backs are
them,
against the
because then
wall,
that can make
they'll
them
abandon us.
That could make them abandon us, though, is by treating them like that. How cynical? Not necessarily. Of course they will. As noble as the council members seem now, if their backs are against the wall, they'll abandon us. Not necessarily.
I don't see that as inevitable.
Look, if you're fighting a bear and the only way for you to survive is to sick your dog on it and run, you'll do it. As much as you love your dog, it isn't human. It's not racism, not really. Members of their species will always be more important to them than humans are.
Why do you feel that? I've heard this before. Give me a break. Why do you feel that?
These seem like deeply held beliefs, Williams. What made you think this way?
My family's defended the Alliance since it was founded. My father, grandfather, great-grandmother, they all picked up a rifle and swore the oath of service.
Okay.
I guess we just tend to think of Earth's interests as our own.
I understand your feelings. You have to work with aliens, or just shut up. I understand your feelings.
All right. I can see where your concerns are coming from, Williams. But this is a multilateral mission.
Exactly.
You're going to have to work with aliens, like it or not.
It won't be a problem, Commander. You say jump, I say how high. You tell me to kiss a Turian, I'll ask which cheek.
Thanks. Good. Remember that. What about me?
Would you kiss anyone I ordered you to?
That depends, sir. If you ordered me to kiss a superior officer, that would be a violation of the regs concerning fraternization.
That's true.
That would make it an illegal order. I'd be required to decline and relieve you of command. Sir.
How are we doing?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
I believe her. It might not matter. We'll watch her. It might not.
Not everyone has a happy family life.
No, I guess not. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
True.
We'll
Goodbye.
talk later, Williams.
Looking forward to it, sir.
Alright, let's move on to Garrus. Hi.
Commander, nice
I
work.
didn't even see you there.
I knew working with a Spectre would be better than life at CSAC.
You knew?
Have you worked with a Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At C-Sec, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
It's not that bad. You shouldn't complain. True. It's not that bad.
For the most part, the rules are there for a reason.
Maybe. But sometimes it feels like the rules are only there to stop me from doing my work.
That's true,
If I'm
too.
trying to take down a
Depends
suspect,
on the
it
rules,
shouldn't
I
matter
guess.
how I do it, as long as I do it.
Well,
But
that's
C-Sec
not true
wants it
either.
done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
That was your reason?
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape.
Well, of course.
C-Sec's handling of
Bureaucracy.
Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
It's a tough decision.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside C-Sec.
Makes sense.
Either way, I plan to make the most of this.
Good.
And without C-Sec headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
That depends, yeah.
If getting the job done means endangering innocent
Why are
people,
you being
then
aggressive?
no.
I didn't mean to
We
be
get the job
aggressive.
done right, not fast. Got it?
I wasn't trying to. I understand, Commander.
I wasn't trying to be a dick, but he came off that way. My bad. Alliance Requisition Officer, yeah. Okay, there's Tali. Let's talk to her. That's how we get out of here, I'm pretty sure.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
Normally they're not. Gathering information on us. This ship's special.
The Normandy's a prototype. Cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on the
I
vessel
didn't know
like
this
this
is more
is a
advanced
dream
than
come
like the
true for me.
Solarians and stuff have. What those Solarians and stuff have too. Thank you. Traveling on the vessel like this is a dream come true for me. You're into ships.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource.
Well, because you guys like live on ships,
But we
basically.
don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can.
Makes sense.
Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the get.
That was 300 years ago.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly.
Well, whatever gets the job done.
We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla. Grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
That makes sense. What about Quarians?
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation
Yeah, otherwise
of the
you're
migrant
wasting
fleet.
resources. That
There are
makes sense.
17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
Like what?
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point.
That makes sense.
Of course, we also can't allow our
But it
numbers to
also
become
sucks.
too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
The Conclave?
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
That makes sense. You're democratic.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
Well, probably when you guys are in danger of being attacked or destroyed or whatever.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins.
You probably weren't alive when
what
they were
were
there.
when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Or when you were there. Tell me.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
Isn't AI research illegal?
How come the council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought.
Oh.
But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. 1 million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
Why did they turn on you? The neural network. I want to know both, but I don't know if I can ask both. So why did they turn on you?
What made them rebel?
As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
Why?
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long.
That makes sense.
The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves.
Pretty much.
It was
Kind of
inevitable
like the synth
the newly
in Fallout
sentient
4
Geth would rebel
with the,
against their situation. We knew they would rise up against
Institute.
us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
They defended themselves. It was your fault. What did you expect? I'm just going to say they defended
You can't
themselves.
blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it
But you
began.
may have also caused
The
it.
hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile, searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
They defended themselves? I'm not going to say that, because I already did. Investigate. Tell me about your
I
pilgrimages.
want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet.
Okay.
But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet.
You've mentioned
This
that
is
before.
presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Do they always accept?
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift.
Of course there is.
It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
Sounds dangerous.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most.
That's probably why you wear that mask
By
all
the
the
time
time.
we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer.
That's true.
Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
Let's change subjects.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
Goodbye.
I should go.
See you later.
Oh, Codex. Technology.
Biotics is the ability
No.
of rare... An artificial intelligence is a self-aware computing system capable of learning and independent decision-making. Creation of a conscious AI requires adaptive code, a slow, expensive education, and a specialized quantum computer called a blue box.
I didn't know they were
An
called blue
AI
boxes.
cannot be transmitted across a communication channel or computer network. Without its blue box, an AI is no more than data files. Loading these files into a new blue box will create a new personality, as variations in the quantum hardware and runtime results create unpredictable variations. The Geth serve as a cautionary tale against the dangers of rogue AI, and in Citadel space, they are technically illegal. Advocacy groups argue, however, that an AI is a living, conscious entity,
I don't
deserving
think
the
all
same
are,
rights
just the
as
ones that
organics.
achieve sentience.
They argue that continued use of the term artificial is institutionalized racism on the part of organic life. The term synthetic is considered the politically correct alternative.
Whoops, I didn't mean to
Biotics
skip it. But yeah. What? More? Where? Council
The
races.
Asari were the first...
Secondary? Alien, non-council races. Oh, okay, there's more. Quarian's economy. The migrant fleet has little economic base operating in a state of perpetual hand-to-mouth, while Quarian ships include light manufacturing and assembly plants. They lack heavy industries such as refining and shipbuilding. The fleet has tankers for water purification and oxygen cracking, but the space-intensive nature of agriculture limits food production. A single disaster could destroy the fragile balance. The Quarians earn income in creative ways because the government is obliged to provide food, water, air, and medical support for every individual. The Conclave strategically determines the course of the fleet to bring in resources and income. A species who suspects the migrant fleet is heading towards their space often offers a gift of surplus starships, fuel, and resources to convince the Conclave to alter course. As the fleet passes through a system, swarms of mining vessels work over asteroids for metals and silicous materials and cometary bodies of water, ice, and organics. Quarian miners are adept at locating and strip mining space-borne resources. This sparks conflict with corporations already working the system. Large mining concerns spend millions That's the timer. Large mining concerns spend millions on lobbyists and public relations portraying the Quarians as locusts, devouring resources of a system before moving on. The greatest asset of the Quarians is their rarefied skills. Most are experienced miners due to their life of perpetual salvage and repair. They are skilled engineers and technicians. More than once, the very corporations that lobby against the Quarians have made backroom deals with the fleet, arranging for skilled Quarians to fill space engineering jobs that other species would demand higher wages for. Quarians are widely hated among the working classes. The Quarians are coming to take our jobs is a common response to the fleet's approach. That would make sense since they are often hired rather than other people, because they'll do it for cheaper, it seems. But anyway, in the next episode we'll continue reading the Codex, and we will get off this ship eventually and go to Noveria and see what's going on there and why the Geth are interested in that planet. I want to thank you all for watching, and if you like what you see, I suggest you subscribe to my channel so you can see the new videos I post every single day. And if you really like the videos, I'd really like it if you could leave a thumbs up and a comment. That way I could have some interaction on my channel and know that people are actually watching and actually care. And if you want to know when I post my videos, exactly when I post them, the best way to do that is to turn on your notifications as well. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.